Hey there, everybody. Trendane here. So I seems like I've started another series again, which I seem to keep starting series and then never quite finishing them. Though some series aren't supposed to finish, then they're kind of a never-ending thing. But at least I should probably do more than one or two, or in some cases three, uh, episodes or installments within these series. I was going to call this Dear Dairy because I've seen far too many people misspell the word dairy, and I just think it's kind of funny. And as opposed to a diary, which is really only meant for the writer to read, they're not really intended for other people to see, but this is more of a journal, kind of a vlog sort of thing, which is intended for other people. So calling it a diary would make no sense, but we could call it a dairy. Um, if you've never been to a dairy, there's usually a lot of cows there, for one. And I know this because my step uncle in Pennsylvania, out near Punxsutawney, where Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog, does his Groundhog Day thing out near Amish country. And anyway, he's got a dairy farm out there. And not surprising, lots of cows. And lots of very fresh milk. Now, for those of you who have never been to or lived on or visited a dairy, one thing you need to bear very heavily in mind when you get up before everybody else does in the morning, which is very difficult to do on a farm, I will warn you of that. When you go down to the kitchen in the morning and you pour yourself a bowl of Cheerios and you just reach into the refrigerator and grab the jug of milk and you just pour, and your aunt is standing in the doorway with this huge smile on her face, and you can't quite figure out what it is that got her so giddy. And then you grab your spoonful and you just one of the things you have to understand about fresh milk is that it tends to separate. And so the cream rises to the top and the milk portion settles to the bottom. And if you don't shake the bottle to mix it all back up again, and you just grab the jug out of the fridge and pour it, all you get is solid cream on your cereal. And if you're not paying attention, like I wasn't, you grab a big spoonful of, Cheerios and pure cream and shove it in your mouth. Fortunately, I was very, very much thinner back then, and that is not why I'm fat now. That's from eating one meal a day for a long time and sitting at a computer a lot. Anyway, drifting off the main thread of the story. The narrative is beginning to get lost. So the look on my face when I ate this spoonful of cream and Cheerios was basically something along the lines of, and my aunt really found that highly amusing, and I suppose if I had seen it, I probably would too. In fact, when I watch this video later on for editing, I will probably laugh my ass off, much like she did. Anyway, so, yeah, be careful with that. If you're going to drink milk in a dairy, make sure you shake it back up again before you pour it. Anyway, so what happened today? Well, this morning, I headed over to the parking lot where I left my car last night because I was on my way to Chicken last night, and it started smoking really badly. I mentioned that in last night's episode, and I meant to go back and get it before the tow truck got there. I did not succeed. The tow truck showed up about 4 o'clock in the morning to haul that car off, and I knew it was a restricted parking area. There are signs all over that parking lot that make it very clear that it is a restricted parking zone. It's nobody's fault but mine. So went to work this morning after swinging by the parking lot and noticing, hey, there's a decided lack of my car here. So I went to work, and it was kind of a half day because my team, I guess they chose today to do this team building exercise thing where they all got on a bus and went to San Francisco for something. I don't know what. I didn't go. For one, I don't like going to the city. I really don't like going to San Francisco. I mean, it's a nice enough city and everything. There are times when I do enjoy going, but by and large, I don't like cities in general. That, and I had a bunch of stuff to deal with my car. And honestly, I've got, like I said last night, I've got 2 weeks left of my contract. I don't want to get involved in a team building exercise. I'm not going to be there that long. Um, that's a bit asshole-ish of me, but still, I mean, it makes very little sense. Or at the very least, it's a very low priority for me, as opposed to getting my car out of the impound lot. Well, not the impound lot, but a tow yard. Um, so left about noon, came home, and took care of some stuff, and then headed over to the tow yard and got my car out of the thing and drove it back home. So now it's sitting in the parking lot. Parking lot. Not again. It's sitting in the driveway, and it's probably going to sit there for a while because my very dear friends, and I say that to butter them up because I turn to them for mechanical stuff all the time. And it's like when somebody walks up to you, it's like, "Hey, you're my favorite person in the whole wide world," and you're like, "What do you want?" Um, sort of like that, I guess. Uh, so, so somebody's walking around upstairs. So yeah, it's going to sit there. My friends aren't readily available for the next couple of days, so it'll be a little bit before they can look at the car to figure out what's wrong with it, and then who knows what the hell's going to. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So my Leap Motion finally showed up. It was like a day or two late, but it did show up, and it's very cool, and it's fun to play around with and everything. But just going to kind of shelve it for a little while and wait for some, games to really start picking up that control scheme. I would love to see Eve really embrace the Leap Motion because I think it would be fun. I still like to mine in Eve quite a bit. It's one of the few things that I actually do. I log in, I fly over to an asteroid belt, and I mine until, it just, runs back and forth. And I just fly out, and I mine until the cargo hold is full, and I go back to the station, I drop it all off, and I go back out again. And it's like fishing, and wow, I enjoy it. It's very relaxing for me. And all these other people are like, "No, it's horrible, it's boring, let's go do PvP." I'm like, I don't like PvP. I'm sorry. I don't. You go blow people up. I'm going to sit here and mine lots and lots of minerals so that when you get blown up, you will have the materials to make another ship. Okay, thank you. It's just what I enjoy. To a limited extent, I do enjoy doing missions and going out and killing, NPC pirates and whatnot. That's kind of fun. But PvP, no, not really my thing. So I would love to see Eve embrace the Leap Motion. I think it would be very, very neat if when you're out in space, if you just kind of reach out and grab, and the Leap Motion sees your hand in this position, and when you're in the space view, your ship becomes the center of whatever you grab, and then you can rotate the view anywhere around your ship. I think that would be very, very neat. But if you're in your galactic map, for example, then you would be able to grab a hold of it and twist and zoom, or zoom in, zoom out, whatever, manipulating the map like that. I just think that would be fun. The rest of the game, I'm not exactly sure how the Leap Motion would work with that, because it's difficult to imagine doing a target lock, especially with points that would be that refined. But for three-dimensional space navigation, yeah, it would be really fun. Let's see. So yeah, it's basically, I took it out, kind of played around with it a little bit, played cut the rope for a while. That little frog is really cute. I think his name is Omnom. Anyway, yeah, very cute. Fun game. So got my car out, sitting in the driveway, not the parking lot, driveway. And then watched a couple of episodes of, actually no, then I did some mining. I did some mining in Eve. And I started doing some more reading on a story that I'm supposed to narrate for a British website that does narrations of short stories and stuff. And they've asked me to narrate this short story for them. I promised them that I would get them a recording sample of what, because there's a certain rhythm, a cadence that this particular story has to be read in, and so I promised them I would make a recording for them so that they could see what it would be like if I were to do this thing. And as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of the last step in the vetting process. If they're like, okay, yeah, that sounds really good, then I'll be the one to do it. If they don't like it, then they'll be like, that's okay, we'll take care of it, and that's fine. So hopefully that goes really well. But I'll be recording that this weekend. And it's just like a page, just an example so they can see what it would sound like. Let's see what else. Did some mining in Eve. Got to record the things that I was doing the reading while I was mining, because I could just kind of sit there and occasionally glance up and see if there are any pirates showing up in the thing while I'm reading. Watched a few episodes of Law and Order. Absolutely loved that. Watched Law and Order. I'm kind of doing Criminal Intent and Special Victims Unit. I'm kind of alternating back and forth. Lots and lots of fun. Watched a few things on YouTube, and speaking of watching things on YouTube, it was Dodger on her Coffee Time episode this evening, I believe, where she mentioned EverQuest Next, which I was like, what? What is this thing? And so I went to the website. I was looking around, and I noticed this wallpaper that you can download with like this big dragon in the background and all the characters. Like there's a big caring tiger guy in armor. And then I realized that one of my coworkers sent me that picture like 2 days ago, and it didn't even register to me at the time what it was. It took Dodger to make that sink into my stupid frog brain. Not frog like Om for Cut the Rope, but a different frog. Anyway, thank you, Dodger, for driving that point home finally. So I guess that's pretty much it as far as what's going on and what's going to be happening this weekend. I've got some recording I need to do, and lots more commiserating about my car and trying to find a place to live. That's something else I've got to do. I've had a couple of friends. It is bizarre how this happens. I had a couple of friends that I was talking to, and they were like, "Yeah, I got a place, and got a roommate, blah blah blah." And one of them, his roommate that he was thinking, so he's kind of been skating on the rent and everything, miraculously came up with 3 months worth of rent suddenly out of nowhere. So that option is kind of off the table right now. The other guy I'd been talking to was like, "Hey, I haven't heard from you in a couple of weeks. What's going on?" He's like, "Well, my current roommate just got an extension on his internship, so he's probably not going to be moving." I'm like, oh my God. The guys that I live with, great guys, love them to death. And I really want my own room, because right now, sort of like the Jonathan Colton song, "Till the Money Comes," I sleep in the den on the couch, which is not ideal, but it works, But what that means is anytime that I have to record anything, I have to ask them to basically put their lives on hold and stay quiet and shut up until I'm done. And that's not fair to them. Plus, I want my own place. Now, I've got a lot of other friends who are like, "Dude, I've got like a recording booth, studio thing in my house." I said, yes, that's all very well and good, and I do appreciate the offer. But then that still means that I can only record on your schedule. I can only do it when you're around, when you're available to let me into the booth to do I want my own space. Craziness. So, hunting for a place to live. 2 weeks left on the thing, and then I'm really going to drive the voice acting career. Really, really push it as hard as I can, which YouTube will hopefully help. Thank you, please, YouTube, please help me. So, in light of that, if you've enjoyed listening to me commiserate, well, not commiserate because we're not really talking about it, but if you want to commiserate, comments down below, or make a video response, record your own vlog on how your life is going. And I mean, they say misery loves company, so hey, let's find out if that's true. So if you found this moderately entertaining, or at least the milk cream face, boy, that sounds really dirty. Anyway, if you found any of this remotely amusing, click the like button. Do that for everybody. If you watch a video on YouTube, click the like button if you like it, please, people. And if you don't like it, click the don't like button or the dislike button. Express your opinion. Anyway. So, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff that everybody always says. Do it. Do it now. And I'll talk to you guys when I talk to you. See you in the next episode or something, all right? Be careless.